What is up, YouTube? It is SpecialGame75 here today, and today we're playing Sakura Succubus 8 Part 4. Here we go. I seem to be saying this is a lot lately, but I think it's a perfectly fair remark to make. Going to a large-scale public events always wears me out, particularly when I have to juggle work and pleasure. I hope that having a bath would help me relax, but bro. Well, you guys are going to have to see this covered up, so therefore, you gotta rely on what I'm saying, okay? So just bear with me. How does this feel, Hiroki? I am not scrubbing too hard, am I? Please let me know if there's something about my technique that you dislike, and I'll do my best to accommodate you. You've done so much to help me, it's the least I can do. It's a bit hard to relax when Elise and Cosmos are here, both of them desperate to please me. It's alright, Elise. Don't worry so much. I don't think you need to worry about your technique or anything. I mean, you're just cleaning Hiroki's back. How hard can it be? It might not be hard for anybody else, but I'm afraid that it would be difficult for me. I don't know if you notice, but I'm rather good at lousing up things that other people would find easy. Well, you do strike me as being a bit clumsy, it's true. But don't look so blue, at least. Clumsy girls are actually pretty popular. They are? Yes, I played a lot of visual novels, so I would know. The scatterbrain type who does her best, but who always ends up making mistakes all the same is a really popular architect type. Guys like girls who try hard even in the face of adversity, even if their best attempts don't always bear fruit. They find it appealing. You mean some men are attracted to uselessness? That's right, I've done a lot of research on what guys like, so I'm a bit of a fan of an authority on the subject. Their tastes are quite strange though. I don't really understand why men get so excited by naked skin when we all naked underneath our clothes. I don't think it's anything that special, but oh well, that's just how humans are. They're incomprehensible. Privately, I think Cosmos is the truly incomprehensible one here, but I decide not to voice that. It would be mean and it's also unnecessary. I don't want to tear Cosmos down. I'm not like Ayu. I see. I can't say I understand what it is precisely that men find appealing, but perhaps I'm not so very hopeless after all. You're not hopeless at all. I think you're very cute. Isn't that right, Hiroki? Oh yes, Cosmos has a point. You are very appealing, Elise, in your own way. You just need to learn to stop worrying about it so much. I know a bit of a tall order, however, worrying seems to be Elise's MO. She might not be good at cooking, exercising, or dancing, but she is very good at stressing herself out. I wonder if that could be her special talent. Man, I hope not. How in the world would Elise be able to monetize that? Is there any discipline where having constant anxiety attacks might be a boon rather than a burden? I guess she might be able to make a good health and safety inspector. What with her ability to dream up the worst case scenario. But that sounds a little grim. I am unsure if that will be possible, but I will do my best. Thanks for cheering me up, you two. You both have been very good to me. To repay you, I am going to redouble my efforts to wash your back. I hope you enjoy it, Hiroki. I'm going to leave you squeaky clean. Oh, me too. In fact, why don't we make it into a competition? Let's see who can clean up Hiroki the quickest. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do that then. Alright, one Cosmos cleaning special coming right up. I'll scrub you so thoroughly all the dirt you've accumulated during the night will go flying. Kamehameha! Wow, now that's a pretty retro reference. I didn't know Cosmos was into a series aimed at young boys. She seems to prefer edgy junior shows beloved by teen boys and visual novels in a distinctly adult audience. I guess she's a woman of broad tastes. Pretty much referring to Dragon Ball right there, when Goku does the Kamehameha. Both Elise and Cosmos continue to scrub my back, their chests pressing against my sides. They're getting pretty into this. I thought briefly that it might be nice to bath on my own, so I'd have a chance to relax and gather my thoughts, but how's this? I'm not applying too much pressure, am I? Are you having fun, Hiroki? This is so bad. This is so bad. Being with Elise can be stressful, but it's decided less so when she's dedicating her time and pampering me. Kazu's company, meanwhile, is always diverting. They always make a surprise good combination. Elise is neurotic, but Kazu's is cheerfully empty-headed. They can cancel one another out quite nicely. I guess Kazu's is on the yin of out to at least sane. Or something like that. I don't know, I'm not in the mood to think of any complicated, convoluted smiles right now. I'd rather just relax. I think after everything I've endured today, I deserve it. A little while later, my bath concluded and make my way back to my hotel room. Today was pretty busy and I feel exhausted. That bath didn't do much to invigorate me. The warm water was nice, but things got a little too steamy in more ways than one. I feel more tired than I did before. I changed into my night clothes, my fingers fumbling, then lie down beneath my sheets. This is a high-class hotel, and the bed feels very soft as a result. It's a lot nicer than my thin, threadbare futon back in my cruddy apartment. This hotel is insulated from the cold, so I feel pretty cozy. I might as well be drifting on a cloud. I'm reminded of the beds back in Astoria's palace, which I stayed a few months ago. The mattress there were unparalleled, but this isn't half bad. I've only been lying down for a few minutes, but I can already feel my consciousness escaping me. I yawned, my eyelids falling shut. I'm just about to pass out when... Who's at the door? Excuse me, Hiroki. I apologize for bothering you at this hour, but there is something I would like to discuss with you. Are you still awake? I groan, my eyelids fluttering open. Didn't realize just how close I was to the sweet abyss of sleep until that knocking coupled with that voice tore me away from its pre-sight. How annoying. I don't think I'll be able to fall back asleep again. Not with that continued knocking, so I might as well answer them. I'm up, it's alright. I sit up in my bed and grope for the lamp on my table bedside table. Damn. The lights are bright enough to blinding, and I have to blink a few resultant white spots away from my vision. My head's starting to hurt. Maybe I drank a little too much at the ball. I head over to the door to let my mysterious guests in, calling out to them as I do. I'm coming, who is it? You can't tell me based upon the cadence of my voice. I am somewhat disappointed in you, Hiroki darling. Could that be Stefania? Thus, suppose it is rather late. Perhaps your brain is not working. Nah, I don't think that could be her. That could be all you at this point. I'll let you off the hook for now at least. But if you continue to disappoint me, I might not be so lenient. I recognize that eerie giggle. Wait a minute. It's gotta be either Marina or Yui. That can't belong to anybody other than Marina. That's right, I'm glad you recognized me at long last, though it took you a bit of doing. Now, would you be a dear and let me inside? I knew it. It's literally... I was going to soothe you, but not to laugh. Sure, just a sec. I fumbled with the handle for a few moments. I feel so tired. My hand-eye coordination is a little screwy before I'm finally able to pull the door ajar. Marina is standing in the doorway, attired not in her formal gown, but a rather more casual attire. A pastel sweater and a plaid skirt. This is the same getup she wore back in Astoria when she was in Stefania's palace. These cool blue colors suit Marina well. They contrast with her dark skin, and they set off her eyes. Marina looks pretty despite the lateness of the hour. Her face is carefully made up, her eyes smoky, and her lips plump with lipstick. I was feeling pretty exhausted after my touchy feeling at bath time with Cosmos and Elise, but seeing Marina has ignited something within me. She looks so perfect at all hours, it's a bit ridiculous. I have no idea how she does it. Hiroki, darling, I know I alerted you at a late hour, but I would appreciate it if you would stop gawping at me and let me inside your room. It is impolite to keep a lady waiting. Right, I cleared my throat, red face, then stepped back to allow Maria entry to my hotel room. I'm sorry about that. I must have been away with the fairies. That is quite alright. I will forgive you, Hiroki, for being so distracted on account on how lovable I find you. Man, though, if you were any other man, your conduct would be a black mark against you. A giggly Marina enters my hotel room, then glancing about, her gaze discerning. Jeez. She is something. The interior of this room is inadequate, I suppose. Only inadequate? I thought this place was pretty fancy myself. Oh, darling, you have much to learn about what constitutes high class. This room is nice enough, yes, but it cannot hold a candle to the suite that I booked for myself. The view is passable, I suppose. Everything looks clean enough, but it is lacking a certain... I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. Y'all can try if you can. Sheesh. Still, I suppose it will serve my purpose well enough. Your purpose being, I can't help but notice the Marina's green eyes flickering over to the bed. She doesn't want to get all up close and personal, does she? If that is her end goal, I don't think I'd mind too much, but Marina doesn't seem to have any design on my innocence, not right now at least. Instead, she takes a seat upon the edge of my bed without waiting for my invitation and says, I wanted to only talk. There is a matter I feel I must discuss with you. A matter? That sounds kind of important. Did something happen? Not yet, no. This is more of a case of something not happening. Oh, but first... Oh, God. Marina clicks her fingers, and then she does. Her clothes melt away from her body to reveal her skin-tight succubus attire. A pair of devilish wings, meanwhile, seems to sprout from her back. A tail protrudes from her rear. If this wasn't a sight I'm accustomed to, I'd probably freak out after witnessing this. But as it is, I'm kind of used to it. That's much better. It can be hard on me to conduct myself in guise of a human for so very long, and I am the one of the more powerful succubi there is. It is rather draining all my stamina. Now I feel I can finally relax. You don't mind, do you, darling? If I lounge about in this state, my undressed body is not too distracted, is it? Oh no, it's fine. I'm used to it after all. Which is to say, Marina isn't sexy, but because she is, but I can't keep myself under control, you know? I'm not a hormone-addled teenager anymore. So what brings you here, stranger? Well, let me see. Marina ponders all while toying with a strand of her long hair fades. It's a bit of a thorny issue, and I'm afraid be very much fun to talk about. It is quite serious. As a matter of fact, I feel like it is something that must be discussed for my own peace of mind. This is about Elise. What's wrong with Elise? Well, there are many things wrong with Elise, but I'd like to know what it is that has Marina so worried. What's been playing on her mind? There are a number of things wrong with Elise. Her anxiety, her awkwardness being two key factors. It would appear Marina's on a similar wavelength to me. At least we both know Elise has problems. I'm not so sure whether this common knowledge will be of any benefit, but it's nice to know you're united on this front. But I did not come here to discuss with you her personality defects, of which there are many. First, I wanted to thank you for keeping an eye on her. I doubt that Elise is the easiest person to spend time with, but you have done an admirable job staying with her and cheering her on. It's fine. I mean, she could be a bit of a pain. Yeah, but I'm trying to be patient, but she does get on my nerves sometimes. Her lack of self-esteem is really something. It is, isn't it? Her company is rather exhausting, but despite that, you have been good to her. I hope you can continue to stay with her in the future. I think she needs your support. I've been doing my best, but I am pretty concerned about her. I'm not sure if she's been settled down so well into her new life in Tokyo, and she's always so hard on herself. I don't think it can be very good for her well-being. Well, I concur with you on that point. I too am worried about Elise. You are? Yes, indeed. This is the real reason why I came to speak to you. I fear if she doesn't carve out a niche for herself in Japan's entertainment industry soon, she will be in danger. Is Elise's situation that dire as all that? Things are looking rather dicey, yes. I can already sense Elise's magical energy beginning to deplete. You can tell stuff like that? Of course, it's an ability innate to all of us Succubi. We can all sense how powerful of our fellow Succubi are just from a glance if they are in a close enough proximity. By the way, I am the one of the most powerful Succubi in Japan at the moment. Discounted Lady Yui, of course. Lady Yui might not be famous in the human realm, but she is very famous among all of us Succubi. We all know of her, as much as I wish I did not, and many of our numbers adore and revere her. That gives Lady Yui an unfair advantage. She does not need to worry about courting the approval of humans, not like the rest of us. She can sustain herself solely on her status as our ruler. It is not so easy for the rest of us, though. It is imperative that we make names for ourselves, otherwise our reserves of magical energy will begin to dwindle and we will start to sicken. If our magical energy drops too low, then we will become so physically weak we can hardly move. In worst case scenarios, we can even die. Fortunately for us, however, there are ways around this. And how can we do that? We need to return to the Succubus realm. The magical energy is much denser there than it is in the human realm, and it replenishes us. If a Succubus wish to remain in the human realm, however, they must try to seek out a degree of fame. Without it, there is no way for us to maintain our magical energy. Right, I get it. And you think Elise's magical energy is diminishing? I do not just think this. I know that it is. That is a fact. As I said, I am a Succubus and we can tell such things. Elise is very weak. She has little energy. I'm surprised she was able to dance at all during a charity event. This might explain why she fell over and why she is so very clumsy. Her body is beginning to deteriorate. If she cannot turn the situation around quickly, Elise will have no other choice but to return to the Succubus realm. Having her hang out in the current state is risky enough as it is. Damn. Started like crazy. Then do you think I ought to tell her to go back home? I wonder about that. Marina frowns contemplatively. Damn, I can't even say it. Yo, this is crazy. Elise might be an anxious, awkward girl, but I get the feeling that she is also rather stubborn. She seems determined to succeed here no matter what, and she is very fond of you, too, darling. That much cannot be discounted. I have seen the way that she clings to you. That is a good point, I guess. I don't know if Elise would want to go back in a hurry, but if going to the Succubus realm will replenish her energy, then maybe she ought to do that. But I don't want her to suffer, and not for the sake of spending a few more days with me. Sure, that might sound romantic on paper, but I don't want anybody's blood on my hands. If Elise succumbed to a magical wasteland, wasting disease on my account, I'd feel awful. I feel awful just contemplating it as a possibility. It's sweet that Elise likes me as much as she does, but I think she needs to like herself more too. What's with her sense of self-preservation anyway? Does it even exist? Yes, I thought you might say that, but perhaps you ought not to worry too much. What? I'm sorry, Marina, but let me get this straight. You're saying that Elise might die if she doesn't start getting more popular, but I shouldn't worry about it? Well, no, that is not quite what I mean. The situation is very worrying. I will concur. But Elise is not alone. She has the support of Lady Yui, after all, and she has you too. Well, yeah, of course she does. I'm going to stay by Elise's side no matter what. What I really want do to succeed. But I don't see what I can do, really. I don't have any way of replenishing her magical energy beyond the obvious, but I can only do that so much. My own energy isn't infinite. Well, I am aware of that, darling. Coyly, Marina giggles. But I was not speaking of your prowess. Impressed. Though it is. What were you referring to then? Why to your own tenacity? You are a hard-working man yourself, who never gives up. And you have been known to make the impossible impossible. If anybody can support at least through these trying times, I am certain that you can. With you by her side, I doubt she has anything to worry about. I know that I am not overly worried, at least. Well, I'm glad for the vote of confidence. Awkwardly, I smile. But what's this about making the impossible possible? I wasn't aware I had any special powers like that. Oh, but Hiroki, you do it indisputably. You've even been able to make Ayu honest, which is no mean feat. After accomplishing that, I really do think that you can do anything. I doubt there's any task more challenging than extracting honest replies from a contrary woman like Ayu. She really is difficult. She is a pain in the ass and much more of a tsundere. Meanwhile, well, look, they're all back. Do you have any sevens? Nope. Go fish. Phew, what a pain. Alright then, it's your turn. What do you want from me? Let's see. Let me see. I wonder. Are you? What is it? Don't hate me for this, but do you have any 6? What? How could you do that? Wow, that was a very big sneeze. You alright, are you? I'm alright. Just got the feeling that somebody might be talking about me. Well, you are a super popular idol, isn't it? To be expected that people would be talking about you. No, not like that. I don't mean it like in a vague sense. I'm certain that somebody is talking about me right now. Somebody very close by. And I don't think they're talking about me in a flattering terms either. And I wonder if Hiroki would know anything about this. Maybe I should go and see him. I'll never forgive him if he's being besmirching my good name in my absence. Do you think Hiroki would do something like that? He's an honest, upfront guy. He isn't the sort to talk about people behind their backs. I know that, but what if that wicked snake Marina is trying to turn him against me? I won't stand for that. We need to go and have some stern words. Oh, jeez. What are you? What about our game? I don't care about our stupid game. You can finish it up on your own. This is much more important. But I can't play fish on my own. It's a 2-player game at the bare minimum, and I was winning too. Oh, cry me a river. There are more important things in life than to go fish. Cosmos, my reputation included. People who talk smack deserve to get smacked. Facts. You're not going to smack Marina, are you? That depends on what she's been up to with Hiroki. Alright, I'll wish you good luck with that. Marina's kind of scary, you know. I don't think she'll let you intimidate her. You might be walking in trouble. As if a little thing like that has ever stopped me. I'm not a coward, and I'm definitely not afraid of Marina. What a saggy old witch like that is going to do with a pretty youthful idol like myself. I'll be just fine. Alright, whatever you say. I'll be waiting for you, although I really was a few moves away from winning. I thought the loser was going to buy the winner a drink. I was looking forward to the banana milkshake too. These two, man, are on a whole nother level. Meanwhile, well, this is nice. How do you feel now, Hiroki? Are you relaxed? Yeah, that feels pretty good, actually. Thanks, Marina. I smile at Marina contemptuously, my lips curve into a small smile. My head is lying on Marina's lap, which feels very soft and warm. Marina's chest is hovering tentatively above my face, and her long hair is brushing softly against my cheek. I mean, it's on top of his head in general. He probably just see half of the sky, like just like Freerin from. Like Freerin just sees half of the sky, and the other half is all covered. If you know the show, if you know, you know. This is what I'm referring to here. This is very relaxing. I've rested my head on Hifumi's lap before, and I've let her rest her head in my lap in return, but this is the first time I've received such a service from Marina. Marina's thighs might be a little thicker than Hifumi's actually, which makes me this feels even better. I'm in heaven. Is there any guy out there more fortunate than I am? At this moment I struggle to believe it. Oh, it is no problem. You do not need to thank me for looking after you. This is something I wish to do on my own volition after all, because I enjoyed it. You worked so very hard, Hiroki. I think you deserve a little bit of peace and quiet. Looking after Elise these last few days cannot happen. An easy feat. Neither, I imagine, is spending time with Yui. Yui isn't that bad. I know she isn't very polite when she talks to you. That is putting it rather mildly, I fear. But she's agreeable enough when she talks to me at the very least. Well, that does not come as any particular surprise. Yui isn't two-faced like that. She can be polite and ingratiating towards those whom she wishes to curry favors from, but she doesn't care one with me. For me. You should count yourself lucky. I suppose that she cares for you so much. Otherwise, she would offer you any respect either. I guess not. It's kind of easy she respects me at all, given she is a queen. I'm nothing really compared to her. Hiroki. Marina's green eyes soften. I think that you're selling yourself too short. I think you have no shortage of talents. Really. Well, of course, you are able to get along with any number of succubi, despite our rather forceful personalities. Well, I think that is impressive. Most humans would struggle to satisfy us, much less many of us. You are truly remarkable, a fact Yui must be aware of herself, for her to clamor for your attention so much. It is rather incredible that you do not realize this yourself, but I suppose your humility is part of your charm. I do not think I would be half so fond of you if you were an arrogant, egotistical man. I see more than enough of those who are on a daily basis in the boardroom. I have no desire to waste my free time on a similar men. Well, I'm glad I can give you a bit of break from all those bigwigs at police. Being with you is very soothing indeed. This is why I enjoy spending time with you, though I fear my succubus sisters, including Yui, share similar sentiments. This is why we keep fighting for your attention. I hope it does not get too tiring for you, having to satisfy all of us. Nah, I'm fine. He'd win. He definitely would win against for all of them. It can be a lot to juggle, but that only caused my time's finite. Patience isn't a risk running out of, so you don't need to worry on that score. I want to keep loving all of you as much as I can. You're all wonderful women. The individual members of my succubus harem might not all get along with one another. In some cases, in fact, Marina and Yui, they downright despise one another, but I like them all. How can I not when they're all so eager to please? I'm starting to feel a little sentimental, actually, as I ponder on how much these succubi meant to me when... Hey Hiroki, what in the world is going on? Huh? The sound of the door slamming makes me jolt upwards off Marina's lap. I turn my head, feeling distinctively out of sorts. I was just starting to drift off, damn it, and... Oh, I see, Ayu. Everybody's favorite, twin-tailed Tsunari is standing in the entrance of my hotel room, her hands on her hips. She was wearing her casual clothes, but her outfit is melted before my eyes to reveal her succubus attire. On her face, meanwhile, there is a fearsome scowl. Now, why does she look so pissy? I guess there's only one way to find out. Really, though. Did she use her succubus magic to get inside my hotel room? That's pretty low. At least Marina had the density to knock on the door. What's wrong, Ayu? Is something bothering you? Yeah, something bothering me. Very much so. You and Marina haven't been gossiping about me behind my back, have you? Not really. I was talking about a lot of things with Marina. You might have come up, but we weren't talking exclusively about you. But why do you want to know that? I don't have to have a right to know it. If you've been gossiping about me behind my back, then I'd like to know what that gossip involves. I hope you're not spreading any nasty rumors about me, Marina, in an attempt to make me look bad. I know you're an old, washed-up has-been, but that has no excuse to put me down using sneaky, underhanded tactics. You're supposed to be a mature, sophisticated lady, so I was hoping you wouldn't resort to any playground bullying. That's low. Hey, Squirt, I thank you for not barging in on me and Hiroki when they're having a private heart-to-heart. What we're discussing has nothing to do with you. And like Hiroki said, we did not speak of you in any great detail. We have already exhausted the topic. In fact, I do not, contrary to what you might believe, spend every waking hour thinking about you and talking about you. The world does not evolve around you. Now, if that is all you wanted, I would ask you to shoo. The adults are talking. Oh shit. Why you? You grits her teeth together. I'm an adult too. I might dress cute, but I'm not like a little kid. You do not need to talk down to me like that. But maybe you can't help it. I've heard acting high and mighty is something old people tend to do, and to make themselves feel better about the aging process. If being self-important makes you happy, then maybe I ought to let it slide. I doubt you have much else to look forward to in your miserable life other than arthritis. Oh, that's fucked up. Bro, what? You can't just say that. Why, you? Marina's green eyes flash with fury and indignation, and her teeth grits together. I'm not even a full decade older than you are. No, but it's almost a decade. We belong to two different generations. Yes, well, you really ought to learn to respect your elders and betters. Oh, you're definitely my elder, but are you better? I really do wonder. I would like to test that and find out. Oh shoot, there we go. It's gonna go down. Dark ominous energy begins to cackle around Marina, and her green eyes start to glowing. We could have a competition of sorts to determine which of us is the most powerful, but I am certain you would lose. You might talk big, but do not have the raw ability to back it up. Compared to me, you will always be a little girl, and you will always be the sad old woman. Alright, that does it. If you think you can talk to me like that and get away with it, you are sorely mistaken. Oh God. I will make you regret those words that ever left your mouth. You jumped up, self-important pipsqueak. Marina raised her right hand. Perhaps be to unleash a volley of evil succubus magic. I guess I'd Ayu, but I hasten to put a halt to this. I don't want Marina causing Ayu any harm, or worse, causing this hotel room any harm. This hotel's a fancy one, and I shudder to think how much it costs if this room sustained any damage. My meager savings would never be able to recover it. Alright, you two, that's enough. Please calm down. Oh. Marina starts at this to draws back. She looks a little surprised, both at my intervention and by her own behavior. Letting her arms drop to her side, she surveys Ayu and says in a far meeker tone than I would usually associate with her. I am very sorry, Ayu, for losing my cool like that. It was immature of me. I suppose I ought to know that you often say silly things to rile people up. I should not let myself fall for it so easily when I'm supposed to be a grown woman. Oh no, yes, finally! Now it's Ayu's turn to look uncharacteristically humbled, finally. It was unfair of me to calling you names like that. You haven't done anything wrong. I've just been kind of stressed lately. I guess so I took things out on you, but that wasn't the right of me. As an idol, I shouldn't act like this. It's my job to ensure that all across the world are people all across the world are happy, but all you bites her lower lip though. It's hard to do that when I'm not happy myself. You aren't? Is something bothering you? You could say that, yeah. I've been really busy lately. What's with the promotion of the latest single, it feels like I barely had a chance to rest since Christmas. My PR team has been pushing me ever since Mihama Shizuru released her surprise comeback single. She got a lot of eyeballs on her, and it's tanked my sales. I've had to rush to get the spotlight back to me, and while it seems to have worked, things are kind of uncertain. I've been fretting about my career, and I guess I've been worried about my personal life too. What about your personal life? I frown. Is something bothering you? You could say that. At least it's younger than I am. Maybe some people would think she's prettier and she's all over you. I'm worried you'll start liking her more than you like me, especially since she has more free time to spend with you than I do. I've been rushed off my feet, but she has nothing but time to kill. I've been so busy with work, I barely had any opportunity to see you, so it makes me worry just a little that might end up being replaced. See you two of you together, you and Elise, I mean, has been a bit of galling. I guess that's why I recreated the way I did. I'm worried. Well, you aren't the only one busy with work. I love my job, but it's rather demanding. It has been taking its toll on me, too, and I am similarly upset that I cannot spend much time with my darling Hiroki. It is quite a sorry state of affairs, being pulled between my work life and my personal life. I still need to find a better way to balance it. My own PA worries I work so much I will one day burn myself out. Well, I'm glad you relate. I never thought we had very much in common, Marina, but I guess I can understand where you're coming from. I've got to grow up eventually, but I don't think I really want to. I don't want to become irrelevant, but Aya fixes me with a meaningful look, one hand resting on her chest. Will you still like me, Hiroki, even if I stop being an idol someday? Of course I will. You're not a cell phone, are you, or a new car. You're more important to me than I'm not going to throw you away and get a new one. That would be callous. I like you too much to abandon you. I grin to give one of Ayu's long pigtails a playful tug. Even if you do make that quite difficult at times with your shorter temper. Yes, Hiroki has a point. You can be very hard to like sometimes. But I know despite all of your bravado, you are a kind, considerate girl. Why did you insist on never showing the best parts of yourself? However, something of a mystery. It's almost as though you delight in making other people unhappy. Maybe part of me does. I get tired of having to act peppy all the time when I'm performing. It gets a little tedious. But I guess I can try to be nicer. I don't want to be sullen and sulky forever. I suppose that is a good start. I'm glad you know of your flaws at least. That should give us a good start to point to fix some of them. Why would you really be willing to help me? Of course, you are one of my Succubus sisters after all, and I do care for you. Certainly I find you more palatable than our queen. You might be grumpy, but I forgive you. It's not like I was hoping for forgiveness or anything, really, but thank you, Marina, for being so understanding. It's very nice of you. It's no problem. I might not be as patient as Hifumi, but I am always willing to help my younger Succubus sister if they're so dire. That being the case, Marina and I looks Aya up and down and says, if you're worried about Hiroki tiring of you, why don't we do something to remind him of just how appealing you really are? Huh? What do you mean by that? You cannot guess? Marina chuckles. You ought to have some idea of what I'm thinking. You are a succubus even if you do make a living skipping around on stage in a pink frilly dress. You are not as innocent as you look, and I know you though you look like, to pretend you are above carnival affairs, your desire for Hiroki is every bit as insatiable as other succubus. Oh no. What is she trying to pull off now? Ah, boy, here we go. A little while later. Later that night. Oh, everyone's all together in bed. Cosmos, no, I don't want to dress like a frog. No, I don't get it. That's stupid. I'm not gonna paint myself green. I wonder what she's dreaming about. I sponsor myself amused as Ayu clings to me. Her arms wound around my waist in a possessive manner, and our legs are entwined beneath the sheets. Her chest, meanwhile, is pushed up against my arm in a rather appealing manner. She feels good lying against me. I'm not going to say poggers either. What does that even mean? That's good. That means something good. Like, come on. That is it's been a long time. I heard that before. But jeez. Leave me alone, you frog-loving weirdo. Though the things she musters in her sleep are baffling, I have absolutely no idea what she's talking about, but maybe that's for the best. I'm not sure if she wants to know why she's dreaming about frogs or green body paint or poggers, whatever that is. Ayu isn't the person sharing the bed either. Marina's lying on the other side, her chest pressed against my arm. Marina's long white hair tumbles across the pillows and mattress, and her gentle exhalations goes against my neck. Marina, like always, is bubbly, incoherent nonsense in her sleep. She's being a lot more dignified, which suits this to a T. Lying with these two beauties is pretty soothing. They're both good girls, though Marina is more of a woman than a girl. She is very few years older than I am. Nevertheless, no matter what they are, they're both kind and considerate in their own ways. I'm glad to know the both of them. They're both concerned about Elise, and if they keep looking out for her, I'm sure she'll be alright. How could she not with a couple of wonderful sisters like this? It's with this thought in my mind that consciousness at last begins to slip away. A yawn forces its way from my own parted lips. Where is Elise in the meantime? Where is she? And I fall fast asleep. Bro, where did she even go? And following the morning. Oh, there you are. Oh, that was a lot of fun. A cheerful, smiling Cosmos is walking down the street, her arms linked behind her head. We'd since checked out of our hotel, and now my retired minus Yui, who had to return to the succubus room earlier to take care of some business, are walking back home. Though in Elise, in case I suppose her home would be my apartment, since that's where she's been crashing for the last few days. Elise has been pretty quiet ever since we checked out of the hotel. She's been walking by my side, her arms would wound through mine possessively. Cosmos, meanwhile, is striding on her head ahead while Marina and Ayu hang back. I've never stayed in a luxurious hotel like that before. It really was a blast. Thanks, Maria, for putting me up. I felt so fancy. Ayu frowns. That isn't strictly true, is it? You stayed at that ryokan with Hiroki and me last year, and that was a fairly fancy, and I gave you my own room at my beach house. That was much more private than a hotel, and the location was a lot nicer. Do you really think that hotel was superior? Not really. It's not against things of being superior or not. I had a lot of fun at your beach house, Ayu, but I like being at that swanky hotel too. It was a different experience, but they were both a lot of fun. I feel like I've been spoiled. I rather think you have. We're too nice to you. Isn't that right, Marina? I agree. It was very kind of me paying for your room at that hotel, but it seemed that the least I could do is, I suppose, after both you and I agreed to help me with my charity event at the last minute. I appreciate the work you did for me, but I still wish you had the thought to wear something other than that silly barmaid outfit you courted rather than more attention than a server should. I did tell you to dress appropriately. My outfit was appropriate though. It polls online and everything. You ran polls and everything online? What? I asked my fans what they thought I should wear while serving people. That barmaid outfit was the most innocuous pick. And other stuff my fans requested showed a lot more skin. I almost dread to ask, but what sort of thing did they ask for? Bunny girl outfits, mostly. Apparently they're pretty popular for serving girls. They might be popular in Vegas, but I wanted my event to be a little more classy than that. Marina sighs. Perhaps I ought to consider myself fortunate that you went for a barmaid outfit then when the other options were so out there. Speaking of which, why are you still wearing that silly outfit? I was worried about that myself. Don't you have anything more to wear? People are staring at us. I think it's plenty normal, and it's really cute. Why wouldn't I want to wear that? Yo. Don't you like it, Hiroki? I mean, hey, it's not bad, but of course it's adorable. I'm glad you think so. I knew you had good taste, Hiroki, even if nobody else does. Being complimented by you always makes me feel all light and fluffy. It's like I've scored my decision today, a decisive victory. I win. What do you win exactly? Hiroki's heart. Whatever you say. Ayu rolls her eyes. Hiroki's easy to please. He's a bit like an Amnoba. Like that, you could wear a garbage bag and I bet he'd still go goo gaga over you. What the fuck? Yo. Oh, do you really think so? I could try that at some point, garbage bag. Check. Might not be too bad. But I had to head off back home now. I meant to be live streamed later, and I don't want to keep my fans waiting. Thank you, Marina, for footing the hotel bill, and thank you all you for complimenting me. It was nice to see you again too, Elise. Cosmo gives Elise a jaunty wave. Good luck with finding a career of your own. I'm rooting for you. Oh, thank you. It's appreciated. I second Cosmo's sentiments. She might be a bit of an airhead, but she has a point. I too would like to see you succeed. You have my blessings. Same here, I guess. I mean, we're all fellow succubus, so I guess I like to see you succeed. You might be a bit awkward, but I don't think you're that bad. You're well-meaning, and I hope you're able to find some way to stay in Japan. You guys, at least look between the two OG members of my succubus harem, her eyes wide with gratitude. She sniffles again. Why does she cry so much? Then says with a tremulous smile, thank you for having so much faith in me. I don't always have the faith in myself. Doesn't she? What a shock. Nah. But I'm going to keep doing my very best. Pokemon Rippers, what the heck? After your little pep talk, I really do feel like I could succeed. Well, if she can without the awkwardness, but hey. The following evening. I spoke too soon. I don't think I could do this after all. Huh? I was relaxing in my bed watching a show on my Asian TV set when a loud sound jolts me out of my lazy refrigerator. I've lifted my head, alerted by the cacophony, and soon come face to face with Elise. Elise is standing at the threshold of my bed with her chest rising and falling as though she's only run a marathon. Her cheeks are uncommonly flushed, and features are twisted into a look of great insurmountable woe. Did something happen since we parted ways outside the hotel yesterday morning? I don't recall anything momentous occurring, but maybe I'm out of the loop. I was worried for the most of the day, and I only just got back about an hour ago. I was hoping to relax and unwind in front of my TV with some snacks, but I guess Elise has other ideas. Is something wrong? Yes, something's wrong. Something's very, very wrong indeed. I went to the convenience store earlier to stock up on instant noodles. Are instant noodles all Elise eats? If so, that's kind of sad. Yo. And I saw this. Look what they've been printing in the papers about me. Elise throws the newspaper which she has clutched into my hands. I accept it from her and smooth it out. I look at the front of my page, brows furrow, and then, a single syllable falls from my lips. This syllable doesn't communicate very much, but given the nature of the story that's running on the front page, I think it's appropriate. They're in full color. A large photo of Elise lying on the ground on top of Cosmos, her skirt pulled up around her hips, her eyes full of startled tears. The headline that's running alongside this piece meanwhile states in a bold typeface: "Disaster at the Rocket City Marina's latest charity event. Clumsy guest makes a scene and causes chaos." As far as the headline goes, it sure is eye-catching. I'm not sure if it's wholly accurate though. Elise might have caused a bit of a stir at Marina's ball, but I don't think she caused any chaos. Elise's mishaps resulted in a few raised eyebrows. Sure, and a whole bunch of whispers, but the event didn't grind to a halt after that. Yui's Elise to her feet, then took her to the restroom to wipe her down. Chaos is a bit of an overestimate, but does this make for an attention-grabbing headline? I almost had a heart attack when I saw this in the convenience store. I just wanted to get some noodles and I didn't expect to see my own face staring at me from the shelves, and I definitely didn't think what happened would wind up in front of the page of the newspaper. It does seem kind of like an overkill, yeah. Maybe it was a slow news day. This is awful. Now everybody across the nation will know that I fell over Marina's ball, and they'll all think I'm a huge idiot. I mean, look, I know that was pretty bad, but come on. Jesus, you just it won't. I'm sure it won't be that bad. I mean, not everybody reads the newspaper nowadays, and you're wearing a lot of makeup in that photo. Even people who have seen it might not be able to recognize you. No, people have been recognizing me. The clerk at the convenience store asked me if I was the girl in the photo, and people in the street have been pointing at me and laughing. Everybody's been talking about it. It feels like I've finally become a celebrity, but I never wanted to become famous like this. Well, that's it. I'm through with it. Through with trying to blend in with humans. I'm too stupid and clumsy for it. It'll never happen. I just can't hack it. My life in Japan is over. Wait, hold up. You can't just think of it that way. It isn't long after this dramatic declaration that Elise leaves my apartment after collecting her belongings. I try to talk her around, but she doesn't listen to me. She seems distraught, so upset my words can't get through to her. She's past the point of rationality. I can't help but worry about Elise, and my worries increase as the days go by. A full week eventually passes, but I still don't see any sign of Elise. It's like she disappeared into thin air. Where does she go? What is she doing? I'm busy pondering this when... Oh dear. Excuse me, Hiroki. A swirling portal opens up in my bedroom. One evening, about an hour after I've returned home from work, and out steps Yui attired, this time in her succubus outfit. She must have dropped it in front of the succubus room. That would explain her dramatic entrance alongside her outfit. I'm sorry to stop by uninvited, but there is a matter I wish to discuss with you. This is quite the urgent matter in the fact, and I knew not who else I could turn to. As the queen of the succubus realm, I really ought to be able to resolve this by myself, but Yui bites her lower lip anxiously. I fear this may be beyond my capabilities. This is about Elise? Yes, that is correct. Was my purpose in coming here so very obvious? It was kind of obvious, yeah. I mean, Elise was in a pretty bad way the last time I saw her. She showed me this newspaper. I retrieved the newspaper Elise threw at me 1 week prior, then handed over to Yui. And then she ran out on me. She was pretty upset about this article. Not that I can really blame her. It must have been embarrassing having her face splashed on the front page like this. Elise's reaction to this news story was so pronounced, in fact, it was almost enough to make me reconsider my morality of my own job. As a photographer for a disreputable magazine myself, which runs a lot of stories on the celeb scandals, I've also contributed to these sort of stories. I wonder if that makes me a bad person. It might be hypocritical, therefore, of me to say this, but I'm worried about Elise. She hasn't shown up here since then. You don't know where she is, do you, Yui? Of course I do. As the Queen of the Succubus, it is my duty to know where all my subjects are at any given moment, and ever since she left your side, Elise has been taking refuge in the Succubus realm. I suspected as much, ever since Elise vanished, but it's nice having it confirmed. That allays some of my concerning at least. I'm glad to know she's alright, but what has she been doing in the Succubus realm? Nothing. That's the problem. She has been holding away inside the palace, staring at the wall. She hasn't been sleeping very much nor eating. She does not go outside, and she shields away from me when I suggest it. It seems she is determined to wither away. Huh? That does sound pretty worrisome. Yeah. Elise has always been pretty nervy, but the shock of having that newspaper article printed about her must have turned her into a full-blown shut-in. Well, this isn't good. I am incredibly worried, yes. I tried to talk some sense to Alice, but she simply refused to listen to me. Her motivation has completely dwindled. She no longer wants to stay in the human realm. In fact, she no longer wishes to do anything. I have begun to despair in her. I want to try and resolve this matter on my own, but I have made so little progress I feel I have no other option to look for outside help. I do not wish to intrude upon your free time, Hiroki, but please. Yui extends a hand to me, her palm raised upwards, and says, would you come to the Succubus realm with me one more time? I fear you're the only person who will be able to talk Elise around. Without your aid, I worry she will never recover. Oh Lord, here we go. It's been a long time. I'm not gonna hold you. This is awful. What's the point? I'm such a failure. I don't know why I bother. The world would be better if I never existed. Well, I knew Elise had been going through some tough times based on Yui's testimony, but I didn't think things would be quite this bad. She might be staying at the royal palace, perhaps at Yui's insistence, but she looks utterly dejected. Her head is hanging and her arms are wound tight around her legs. She's rocking back and forth, mumbling worried about things to herself, which sounds rather self-effacing. Is she alright? The answer to that is probably not, but since I'm here, I might as well ask. Hey Elise, long time no see, huh? How are you holding up? What? Elise sniffles. She wipes her eyes with the backs of her arm and turns her head to look at me. Hey Hiroki, what are you doing here? I brought him here. I thought that he might be able to talk some sense into you, even if I cannot. Oh, right. I see. I really am sorry for inconveniencing the two of you. It must be a pain coming from all the way to the Succubus realm to look after a loser like me. I'm really not worth it. If you're completely sick and tired of me, I would understand. I mean, who wouldn't be? I'm sick and tired of me too. Elise sighs. I really can't do anything. Right. Now, you will have a less of that, Elise. Your pity isn't going to help you. I know that, but it's starting to look like nothing will help me. I tried putting myself out there and I tried to be confident, but it didn't work. I just turned into a laughingstock instead. You saw all those photos of me in the newspaper, Lady Yui. Everybody was saying I was an idiot. How can I go back to the human realm now? I'll never be able to show my face around there again. I've been disgraced. I can tell based on Elise's tremulous tones that this is going to be a pretty tough nut to crack. She's not in a good frame of mind, but I think I might be able to talk to her around. I'm not in the blast of orator, but I spent so much time over the last year with my succubus heroine that I think I've gotten pretty good at dealing with their problems. I just have to be patient. Lose my temper with Elise is no-go. That will serve no purpose whatsoever beyond making her retreat even further into her shell. Hey now. I adopt a gentle tone as I kneel before Elise. I understand that what happened to you was embarrassing, but it happened over a week ago. I'm sure everybody has forgotten all about that little mishap already. Are you sure? Yeah, I work for a magazine, so take it from me. I ought to know. Scandalous headlines get run all the time, so Celebrities are always having affairs, getting into arguments, or making poor business decisions. Old headlines are forgotten just like that, and new ones get run to take their place. The accident you had at Maria's ball might have been a hot topic for a couple of days, but it's already blown over. I doubt anybody will care about it anymore, other than you. Huh? Is that how it works? Yes, it is, yeah. Humans are horribly fickle, which is why IU, Cosmos, Rita, and others have to work so hard. They're constantly pushing themselves to remain relevant so that they can stay in the limelight. It takes active effort for even very famous women like them to make an impression on people. You aren't famous, though, at least, so nobody will remember that you made a little mistake. Nobody's going to stare at you. Nobody's going to say mean things. And if they do, that means they have too much free time on their hands. You shouldn't take their opinions too seriously. And you definitely shouldn't hold yourself away in a succubus realm. I don't think it's very good for you. You need to feel a bit of sunlight on your skin at least. Well, at least wipes a few of her stray tears from her eyes. I've never really liked the succubus realm. It is very dark around here. Hiding away here isn't making me feel any better. And I miss you a lot, Hiroki. I miss you too, Lady Yui, and I miss Kazuo, I, and the others. And I don't want to be alone. Don't be alone then. Return to Japan with us. Haruki came all the way here to speak to you and to cheer you up. Should that not tell you how much he cares for you? Like, is that really true? At least blinks. Do you still like me, Hiroki, even if I'm a bit of a mess? Of course. I mean, I think that makes you a bit more appealing, actually. It does? Yeah. We all have our own issues, even with Marina. She's really hung up about her age, you know. I might have heard her and Lady Yu argue about it, yes. No matter how competent a person might appear, we all have our own weak spots. Nobody's perfect. Apart from Hifumi, maybe she has the patience of a saint, and she's incredibly talented in a lot of areas. Acting, cooking, karuta, and playing music. I decided to keep this to myself. However, I don't want to upset Alice any further. Comparing herself to Hifumi would be the fruitless task anyway she's given. She's something of a superwoman. In fact, you were perfect. I feel a bit afraid of you. It can be intimidating talking to people who are too accomplished. You're too easy to get along with, though. I know you think you're awkward, but I enjoyed being with you. You're charming, and I know you're very kind. You care about people a lot. You've been worried about it imposing on me, but I really don't see it like that. I've enjoyed having you around, and I think my life is a lot more grayer without you in it. Won't you come back, please? You'll never know what you might be able to accomplish if you don't at least try. I've never really thought that I'd be able to accomplish anything, but Elise wipes a few more tears from her eyes then looks up. I extend my palm to her, and Elise after a few moments reaches out her hand to take it. Our fingers entwine, our palms pressing together. As I help Elise up, she stumbles a little after getting to her feet, but I reach out to steady her. I hold Elise in my arms, her chest pressed against my own. She looks up at me, her lips purse, and then after a pause, she smiles. Alright, I'm still a little afraid of the human realm. I'm very afraid of the failure, but I've already made an idiot out of myself once. But I don't think things could get much worse than they are already, really. I failed so badly I shouldn't be afraid of it anymore. I should not hold my head high. It'll be difficult for me. I'm going to do my very best. I don't want to let either of you down, Hiroki, Lady Yui, and I don't want to let it myself down either. That's the spirit. I'm glad you're feeling better, Elise. Well, of course I think it was inevitable that I'd feel better, really. No matter how sad I'm feeling, cheer me up, Hiroki. That's what made me fall for you. You really are nice. Well, got something good in plans. I'll do my best, Elise said. I'm going to try and be more optimistic, she said. She promised to give making a name for herself in the human world one more shot, but the sunlight is so bright. It's making my eyes sting. This is the worst. Elise has only been back in the human realm for about 5 minutes and she's already looking worse for weird. She cringed at the moments the sunlight touched her skin, and now she's glancing about the streets surreptitiously like she expects to be jumped at any given moment. Will she really be alright? At least skin has always been pale, but looks even paler ever since. Like since her lengthy sojourn in the Succubus realm, her eyes look distinctly bloodshot. The way she's shrinking away from the sunlight doesn't help. She's acting an awful lot like a vampire. I guess it's a good thing that like a vampire at least won't crumble into dust upon being exposed to the sunlight. At least I hope she won't. I thought dragging at least out of the Succubus realm would be best for her, but now I'm not sure. You and I didn't make a mistake, did we? Maybe at least really would have preferred being left to her own devices. She'd never been much of a people person, or people succubus perhaps I should say. Hope she can get over the aversion to the sunlight at least soon enough, otherwise we might have a problem. Eventually the three of us make it to our destination, a somewhat small, trendy cafe that's located in Ikebukuro. I wonder what that is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.